Alrighty guys, welcome back. So this is going to be part 6, act 6. So let's go ahead and continue. So we're just going to go straight to the coast. And just keep on continuing. And in this part, there's not anything special for this act that we really need to do. With the exception of the Pantheon system, which I'll show you guys how that works. It's actually a really cool system. Oh, we're coming up to our first Delirium mirror. So if we walk through these, what these are, it's going to make the enemies a little bit more difficult, but in return, we have this bar on the bottom left, and that will fill up, and once it is filled up all the way, we will get some sort of reward that corresponds to whatever is in the bottom left corner. So right now it's like a treasure chest, which is kind of like random stuff anyways, but sometimes it can be currency. It can be very specific things. It can be gems. It can be lots of different things. So if we go to another area, it does end the thing. So we have to either go here and push this little end delirium. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. But how it works is kind of like a donut that is constantly expanding. And this mechanic can drop cluster jewels, which is kind of like the jewels from before, but this can extend our skill tree when we put it in a certain area. I'll show you guys how that works a lot later on. It's kind of optional if you want to even engage with it. It adds a lot more complexity though, for sure. Alright. Right over here, what we're looking for is this eye. There's a elite monster that has a quest item. It's pretty easy to get though. We have another skill point. Oh, cool. Someone wants to buy an item. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and invite them to the party. I'll talk more about how to like trade items later. So we're going to invite them to the party and hopefully they will join in a moment. The monster was quite tough. And if they don't join, okay, he finally did join. Okay. So he wants to buy one of the tattoo items that we got from the League mechanic. That's really laggy. Okay. So we're going to grab our item out of the stash. And I'm going to go on his name and I'm going to click on trade. I'm going to give him the item. He's going to give us the 1 chaos orb. I'm going to hit accept and that's it. And then we just usually leave the party or kick the other player. And that's all that you really need to do with trade. So last time we left off, I think we're getting some more HP, and I think that's not bad to just get some more HP. We can also think about getting some extra accuracy, as we will get more HP. Yeah, let's just get more HP for now. I think life is kind of what I want to shoot for, and then we're going to also try to grab some additional spell suppression very soon. So even if we take spell hits, we'll be a-okay. And there's a few nodes over here that can help us out with not only HP. So I'm going to grab this last HP node, and then we're going to get like life and mana on hit, and then I can unspec out of this one and just focus in on this hybrid one. And it should be more than likely enough. And we can also get that 10% as instant, and that really helps out with speed. It's awesome. So now let's go continue back to Mudflats.
My mana is gone. I'm not up to that just yet.
Grab this Eye of Conquest. And that is the one item we needed to access the next area. Usually the boss will be somewhere around here, and sometimes this area can be up and to the left. Let's see if it actually is. Might have to go further. Let's see. Oh, it is up and to the left, yep. And then we need the eye to get to the Karui Fortress. You just started this game, you're level 23, nice, you got a while to go. Pretty much once you're about like 90-ish is pretty much where your character should be good by then. Most people don't ever hit 100 in Path of Exile. It just takes a significant amount of time. And now we're going to go to Tukohama's Keep. And there's a boss here. So how this boss works is there's a totem in the middle, and it's just going to spray out fire and it slowly chases you, but it's really not that big of a deal. Eventually these little other totems come up, and these you have to kill, because if you don't, then you can't damage the boss anymore. It's his kind of special thing. It's fairly easy though. Our golem died, so let's resummon him. Boss is gone. And now we have a crafting recipe. So now we are also going to get our first Pantheon. So there's a relatively long animation. You don't have to wait for it, but we will get our first Pantheon. So what that is we're going to be able to select a major god and a minor god. And this just has some sort of extra buffs. So this one makes it so we get additional physical damage reduction per second if we are stationary, meaning we do not move. So we can get up to 9% physical damage reduction, which is okay. Right now we don't have anything. So you just pick one major and a minor, and then that's how the system works. But the best one, in my personal opinion, is just being straight up immune to being frozen. And we'll get that one a lot later. We're going to have to do an endgame mechanic for that one. But it's cool. Now we're going to go from the Karoo Fortress to the Ridge. Get this. And this is also going to grant us a skill point for killing him once we get into town. And our next goal is to go to the lower prison to do another one of those trials. You can actually get multiple ascendancies. So you get a total. There's total 4 trials that we'll do. We've already done the one. Is to get more points for our super class. Woo, another level up. Alright, so that's the last like HP point that we'll put in for now. And also make sure we check out our accuracy. We have 1900. Okay, so we're good. Alright, so now we are in the lower prison, and there is another trial of ascendancy in this area, so we will go ahead and knock that out as well. You don't have to click on these little things. It's just you get what's called Soul Fight for something later, and it's an optional thing. I don't really use it at all, though.
My mana is gone.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully the trial is not super far away. So be careful when you click on these. Sometimes these will freeze you. Eventually we will be immune to being frozen, but it's not till like later in the game. And you can get a pair of boots right now that will give it to us, but they have kind of bad stats overall. Other than like you can't be frozen. I gotta go around. Do you have the more accuracy than life? Yeah, that's the one that we have. So we gotta kind of watch it, but it is so worth it. I get it every single time. It's very, very easy to maintain. Oh, it's locked. Ooh. I'll wait for this to go up. Just dash. Wait for this to go up. And then we just go. Okay, we are good now. Get that recipe. Keep on moving. It's so easy. You just go to the side and you can just ignore the mechanic.
Belief is the strongest metal of them all.
So now we're gonna go from lower prison to the next area. Let's see. It's about the same. Sometimes it can be faster to go back and load in the waypoint. The other strategy would have been to open up a portal here, get over here, die, and then reset that way. It's another option.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Hello, Riv. How you doing? Do you like the projectiles do more damage at the start of a travel distance node? You can get that. So you're talking about over here, point blank. This is like a pretty good thing to grab as well earlier on if you want. I like to get far shot. You can get both actually. It still gives you more DPS. Oh, we can maybe use this item. It was. If we have a essence or something, okay. Oh. You'd have to be really lucky and just give us like a good amount of like HP. If I was to try to use that. I think we're okay with gear right now. I mean, I have 2 Chaos Orbs, so we can buy something. I want to see if we can get Thunder Fists earlier on. That will be like insane if we can get that. But I think it requires like a very high level. It's a really good pair of gloves. Just adds massive amount of lightning damage. See if these gloves are better. On gloves, ideally, we would get accuracy rating, attack speed, and some flat damage. There's 2 to 40. We got accuracy. It's not like that bad, but this also gives us 30% increased attack speed while on full life. It's really hard to beat earlier on. Eventually, yes, we will replace those. Right now, we don't have like the best in slot, but for a long time, these will actually be best in slot for like a lot of builds that are ranged. Because it's so hard to get 30% attack speed. It's just unrealistic. Hello, EP? You're playing, oh, you're playing hardcore lightning arrow? Ah, nice. Oh, you ripped last night, unlucky. What'd you rip to? What's up, Riv? Torchlight Infinite. I think they had a new season a while ago. But I might have been playing something else. And there's a new character that has to do something with like explosives. I haven't tried him out yet. I haven't checked out how the game's doing on Steam charts, so. That game's actually pretty similar to Path of Exile. Like, it has good endgame content.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Not you! For my life and my work, I shall not suffer this humiliation again! You shall be repaid!
So, for this boss mechanic, you just don't want to stand on the books. And they rebuilt one of the guys that we fought before. The reassembled Brutus. It's like Frieza, he comes back, but he's stronger. Basically, just stand behind him. He's kind of slow. The slam attack can hit hard, so just move and shoot. He'll go down eventually. No problem. Let's see if this is better. So I think we could get a much better quiver.
And
So now that we have eliminated him, we still have a quest point to get, and that was because we killed that one boss with the totem that shot the fire around. So we're going to go ahead and grab that skill point real quick. There we go. And then we can receive an item. We can go grab this.
Stay sharp out there.
See if there's anything good to get out of this. Sawena, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream, Sawena? Sawena, do you play Path of Exile, by the way? Thank you, thank you. But welcome everyone from Sawena's stream. We're playing some Path of Exile. It's kind of like Diablo.
Greetings.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
And now we get this, and then the next point, what we're going to do is we're going to get all 3 of these, and then the other one, where we make it so life leech is instant. And let's continue. So from Prisoner's Gate, what we're going to do is we're going to look for another boss. Am I having fun with this game? I am indeed. Hello, Saint. How you doing? We gotta go up to the top. Did you finish Baldur's Gate, Sawena? I still haven't finished that game. Path of Exile's new league came out, and then everything else got put in hold because I love Path of Exile. It's super enjoyable. Yes, okay, we got a scour orb.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So what we're looking for is Valley of the Fire Drinker. So from Prisoner's Gate, Valley of the Fire Drinker, and this area will give us the ability to get another skill point. So this boss is pretty easy, just shoot and move. You can do like a charge, but most of this stuff doesn't really do that much damage. Alright, go next. Do we have an empty green socket? No. The next form, or melting him. He's gone. You don't actually have to wait for him to come down. You can just walk away. If you go back to town, you can get the Pantheon. So that's no problem. So we have another skill point waiting for us. I'm new to PoE. I only played 2 leagues. What crafting makes the gear glow or galaxy? Oh, so those are skins usually. But you can get some items that will have some sort of celestial footprint, is I think what you're talking about. They also do give away free microtransactions when it's Path of Exile's birthday. You just get a free mystery item. And it doesn't affect gameplay. I think I have those as well. Let me see. What is it called? Is it called the Galaxy Footprints or something? Is it like on an aura? Cold snap. But yeah, to make your weapons and stuff like glow, these are all from like different leagues. So like this league, there's a skin as well. These are all free. That I've gotten them for free by just playing the game. Yes. Tugart. Woo! That was one of those explodes nearby like corpses. That one's kind of dangerous. So now from Prisoner's Gate, we're going to go to the Western Forest. Next up, we have another boss called the Puppet Mistress that we'll be fighting very, very soon. Is PoE only on PC? No, it's on everything. So like Xbox, PlayStation. I don't think it's on Nintendo Switch though. So yeah, and it's free. You can download it on Steam, or they have their own client. Now we're in the riverways. There are 2 areas to go to from riverways. We want to generally go up and to the left, That's where we're going to find the Puppet Mistress. Another boss. This act is pretty short though. We'll breeze through it. You might have to check it out. The skill tree is intimidating though. Cap, we're doing a full walkthrough build guide right now, so you can copy mine if you want, and you'll have the exact same results. Basically going to be breezing through, one-shotting most of the things in the game. So now what we're going to do is look for the wetlands from riverways. Ideally though, if we can get the waypoint here first, that would be ideal. Okay, there we go. We got lucky. It's just right here. A little bit to the right of it. Usually, like, if you follow the paths in this game, you'll get, like, the waypoints. But now we're going to go to the wetlands, we're going to kill the boss, and then we're going to use the waypoint so we don't have to walk all the way back. What game is this? The name of the game is Path of Exile. Woo, another level up. Now this level up is going to be awesome. Because what we're going to do now is we are going to use some of our refund points. So we have 8 refund points left. So I'm going to refund these 3. So these gave us mana leech. But now I don't need that because we're going to get the mana and life leech. So this one gives us both. But it gives us a little bit less. So to recuperate a little bit more, what we're going to do is we're going to get life leech is instant. 10% of it. So we get to have 1% of our mana leech. Our attack damage is leached as mana and life, but it takes a long time. It recurs over a very slow rate. But if 10% of it is instant, then it's just so much better. And then there's a couple other things that we can get from the leech mastery, but this just helps out so much. It just makes the game feel so much better. It's a very nice quality of life feature. And eventually we'll get inspiration, so things will cost less mana as well. So right when we're in this area over here, there are 3 little pods that we have to kill. Once we kill the pods, the boss comes, and these little things will open up spores. So don't stand next to little like egg-looking things. Kind of look like dinosaur eggs. You don't want to stand in them. They'll pop and do damage. There we go. Let's see if this ring is any good. I haven't gotten an upgrade in a while. This one gives us... Oh, hinder. Oh, what is this one? Covers 1600 life? Wow. Oh, it only gives us instant recovery on low life. Okay. The important thing was that we had the immunity to corrupted blood, because once that gets applied, or for bleeding, pop it and it'll remove the bleed, which is pretty nice. Ideally, you want something that removes bleed. This also removes bleed. Steel skin. Let's see what we got. No, nothing good on that one. And then there's no way the bow is better than ours. So now we have another one of those Pantheon ones. So I can reduce duration of ignite. This one's kind of nice to have, because it just makes so the life flask automatically just refill as long as we haven't used a life flask recently. But it's up to you on it. Doesn't really matter for right now. None of these really matter right now.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Okay, so now we're gonna TP, go back to that waypoint that we got before going in. Do I still play Diablo 3? Yes, we still play Diablo 3. We still play Diablo 4. I haven't signed out any action RPG really. I may go back to Torchlight Infinite one day. They have a really cool update. I mean, I've played Wolcen, Last Epoch. I play all of them. But right now, pretty much it's been Diablo and Path of Exile. Well, like these ones I'll always come back to. The other ones, they're going to need a big update to get me interested in the game again. But from the waypoint of Riverways, we're just going to walk like up and to the right. It's usually where it's at. Yeah, it's probably over here. But yeah, going back to your comment, Capsule was saying that the tree is intimidating. It is if you don't have a guide. If you're following a guide, the game is pretty simple, and it makes things so much easier to watch someone's guide, whether it be mine or someone else's. because this game is one of the best action RPGs for a reason. It has so many decisions that you get to make. I think that's really cool. You're new to the Diablo franchise. Ah, what game did you play before that? 1%? Ooh, I'm about to get a bunch of level ups very soon. Sometimes for leveling up we might need like strength into whatever. There is a node over here we can grab if we really need to get it. Like right now we're not going to be able to upgrade a lot of our gems because we require strength or intelligence. So you have two options. You can get it on your pieces of gear. You can get it on the passive tree. And we can actually go for the passive tree one. The reason why I want to go for the passive tree one, I kind of want to get these two. These two are really nice to have though, because it's more HP. But in theory, we should start leveling up our gems faster. And I think getting these two will be an okay investment. Now we can change that later. So we're going to get the flag. And this is Nessa. You can see she got turned into like a mermaid. She was a NPC in the earlier acts. But when we come back, she has been transformed. So we're just going to continue venturing from the cavern. And we also still have another skill point to claim. And pretty much we just fight the last boss of the act. This is actually going to be a relatively short act as well. You can see a lot of the acts are just kind of running around. We have the locked door. How will we enter it? So we gotta go the other way. There we go. The beacon. Do I like this game more than Diablo? I like both the games, although I don't even think it's up for debate. Path of Exile's endgame is way better. As far as the campaign goes, I mean, Diablo's got cutscenes. So I would say for your average gamer, in terms of campaign, I think easily arguable, like Diablo 4 is way better for the campaign experience. Because they have some sort of narration with the story. This game has narration, but like having cutscenes, I think for a lot of people, it solidifies the game being like a AAA game, you know? But I honestly don't follow the PoE like game for the story. I follow it because I like the customization and the cool things that you can do. In fact, I'm gonna go check after this part, and I want to see if all the uniques got revealed, because I don't know how they hid them from the data miners, but they just never got revealed. Like even one day after the league, like there's still items that people have not discovered because they're maybe just super rare, or the way to get them, or it's just super difficult. Well, it's another unique, but it's no good to us. You can still pick up the uniques, and what you can sell them for are alchemy shards. So it doesn't give you this, but it gives you like a piece of one. So maybe you need to collect 20 of them to get one. Alright, so yeah, let's go get this so we can start leveling up our gems. The next level will be nice because we get strength and intelligence. Then we'll just scale a little bit more HP. It might be this way over here. Sometimes it's that unlucky little pixel that you didn't like reveal, and that's where you need to go. And look at it, it is. Diablo falls off at 70. Yeah, well, there isn't really anything in the endgame for Diablo, realistically, other than Nightmare Dungeons, and you've been doing them anyways. So, like you do in World Tier 3, you're doing dungeons anyway, so it's not really a new thing, right? Like the difference between a rift and a greater rift is like not that big of a difference, right? In Diablo 3, and the Path of Exile map system can be a little bit different, especially because you got so many things to modify the game with later. And you get to kind of choose your own like end game. But I think that's a really cool feature. Alright, here's where we actually need to go on the beacon. So I guess you just hug the right side. And so once you see these little like contraptions, just stand inside the circle. If you get outside, it will move backwards, and you want to move it. So keep on going. There's 2 of these switches you gotta hit. I wish the camera could always zoom out this far. Alright. What's up, Aztecs? Oh, are you? There's no way you're level 100 now. I don't believe you. I'm checking. You're level 92. Yeah, I've been playing like 3 games at the same time. I've been playing like Diablo, Baldur's Gate, this game, and then On Guard. I just kind of like got that game as well. I'm playing everything. Oh, you've been doing an expedition. I gotcha. So once you put both of those things in there, all you gotta do is click on the little torch at the top, and then Sky and the boat will come up, and just ride the boat to the boss. But we actually want to gain 1 level, and then I'll go back. So now we're going to click on Sail to the Branking's Reef. And it's going to transport us to a new area. But have you been getting good rewards for the league mechanic, Aztecs, or is it like not worth it? Because my early game experience and what I saw, and they just tweeted out, in fact, on Twitter. It's funny how like I've been playing this game for so long, I already looked at the rewards, I'm like, it's not enough. And so they buffed the rewards to the currency that you get for like the vendors, but not the in-game currency. Getting like 1 jeweler's orb or like 5 jeweler's orb late game is very underwhelming, especially with the leveling process. I think late game it probably has better rewards, but it's not going to be proportional to the length that it requires. I'm not saying it needs to be the best source of like items. It needs to be somewhat usable, right? That's what I see. Okay, so since I just got my skill point, I'm going to go turn in my other skill point quest, so I can get another skill point, and I'll show you what we can vendor this for. It's probably not even going to sell for like that much, but you can get some alchemy shards, which can be okay. So let's see if we can get any. We got 6 alchemy shards, and we need 20 to get an item, or 20 to get. Where's our alchemy shard? So we have 12 out of 20. So once we get 8 more, we get 1 of these. It just takes a really long time. And now we're going to get both of these nodes, and then we can just get way more HP. And then we can also get that extra 10% movement speed. I like that one as well. But, oh, here it is. So it's under Evasion Mastery, where we have 15% chance to suppress spell damage. We have a helmet, body armor, gloves, and boots all have evasion rate. So yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Okay, let's go ahead and level that up and continue. Hello Spoonie, how you doing? Mark, appreciate the follow, mate. Alright, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for the boss. And I want to say it's usually to the right. but it looks like it's going to be way far down and then to the right. I'm doing good, Spoonie. Just enjoying myself on Path of Exile. It's like one of my favorite games, and I love coming back to it every single season. Although the League right now, the mechanic is cool. I just think the rewards aren't going to be good till late game, which is kind of unfortunate. I still feel like the last good rewarding League that had good items through the start and the end was Ultimatum, and they still haven't made that return. I liked it because it was risky too. It gave a sense of excitement. That mechanic was where you could like do some sort of little objective, but it was relatively fast, and it would get harder and harder, but you get better and better rewards. But if you failed, you would lose all of your rewards. So it's kind of like, oh, do you want to be greedy? Basically, I was always greedy until I saw something good. That's how I played. I didn't really care about the small stuff. It makes the game much more exciting. Alright, let's go to the Brine King's Throne. And this is going to be the area where the boss is at.
So courageous. Such a fine example of womanhood. I simply knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Or my husband. You see, His Majesty could never be satiated on his wedding day by one bride alone. Thank you, my new sister.
You can see she's got like a
always treasure your company.
a thing connected to her like neck. So this guy hits pretty hard, as you can see. It took about half our HP away. But how this mechanic works is just stand far away from him. He has like an arcing swing, so stand in the back. So you kind of look for his like lobster-looking tail. And just keep on shooting him. When she comes up, these little white circles will do damage. So just don't stand in that. And also don't go into the water, you will die. Just attack and move. It's already halfway dead. And they're doing the attack again. This time we got like a lot less space. I can't even see right now. That slam attack is pretty deadly though. But just shoot and move. Stand behind him. Slam attack. And we got him. Just for funsies, let's go identify the bow. There's very few chances that would be better than this. The reason why is because it has plus 3 different elements. The lightning one actually rolled kind of low on it. But the bleeding and like the other stats are kind of bad. Ideally, we want like either like attack speed. All right, so we got our first big one. So you can see this gives us the ability to make it so if we've been stunned, we can't be stunned again. And then eventually we will get the cannot be frozen, or it's 100% chance to avoid being frozen, but same thing. Just as long as we're never going to be frozen, that's all we want. And now we go to the bridge encampment, and this is going to be the end of that act. So now I'm gonna go talk to NPCs as well. But that is going to be the end of part 6, act 6. However, since this one was a little bit short, I'm gonna talk about some upgrades. So right now, what would give us the most like stats on an upgrade is probably in the amulet department. So we are level 53 right now. So there's a lot of different ways that you can find out which items would be better. I have this tool called Path of Building. Now it's optional if you want to download it. This is the Path of Building, the Community Fork one. What it allows me to do is I can import my character in this little like builder, and then I can go to the items, and you have to connect your like account, which is called the session ID. Don't worry about it too much. You don't have to do this. I'm just giving you guys info on it. Because you're playing the same build, you can basically look for kind of the same pieces of gear. So what this allows me to do, it's a tool that lets me just find out what's the best item in the entire game for me at whatever price point that I have. It's maximum efficiency. So let's say I want to upgrade on my amulet, right? So you can use a lot of different things. So if you want to sort it by your DPS. So for example, I need to make sure I select the correct skill as my DPS. So if I go to skills, if I want to include it in full DPS, I would do, where's lightning arrow? And then I want to make sure that this one is selected for my full DPS. Otherwise the game doesn't know which skill is my DPS skill. So then I go to the items over here. And I'm going to go trade for these items. And I already inputted my session ID. But again, don't worry about this too much. I'll make probably another video that goes over this later. But it's just to give you guys information on, like, if you want to, how this kind of works. So let's say I want a amulet, right? And I have 2 chaos orbs. That's how much I'm willing to spend on it. And then I'm going to just hit execute. And it'll look for the items for me on the Path of Exile trade website, and it'll tell me what the best item is. So this one gives us cold damage. It also gives us crit strike chance. Now, we can't actually benefit from the crit strike chance. It also gives us armor, which, well, it doesn't really help us, to be honest, but the elemental damage with attack skills is kind of nice, and it does give us $13 attributes. And then I can also click down and see what else there is. Ideally, we'd look for something that has some sort of anointment. Now, this one over here gives us Disciples of the Slaughter. So that is going to be more than likely better for us. And the reason why is because some of these may not factor in. Well, this one doesn't even have an enchant. So I'll probably want this one. This one's only 1 chaos. It gives me increased elemental damage with attack skills that we want. We don't really have any armor to scale. And then we also get the extra attributes, which is okay. But I want to see... Oh, wait. This one didn't have the... Oh, is this one? This is the one. Okay. So this one has Disciples of the Slaughter. So if I want to see what Disciples of the Slaughter is, I would just literally type in Disciples of the Slaughter, PoE, and I will find out what it actually gives me. And so there's the PoE wiki, and there's also, like, there's lots of different wikis. So there are some that are incorrect, but anyways, this gives us +1 to minimum frenzy charges, and then we have a chance to gain a frenzy charge and kill. We get 8% increased damage per frenzy charge, which, I mean, that's okay. If it was to maximum frenzy charges, it would be better. What that means is we always have 1 frenzy charge, so it's not like a bad thing. But I already have my mana forged arrows giving me my maximum frenzy charges, so that one's not really super useful for us, and it's already corrupted, so I can't modify the amulet anymore. So would this one be an upgrade? Definitely. But let's see if we can find another one that gives us extra, like, life as well. And then this one I can just copy and paste the Whisper like from here instead of going to the trade website, which is nice. What we can also do is, if I want to do this, it can give me the exact search result that they actually searched. And this is where it gets really crazy. So it puts in all of the parameters for whatever, like, stat and how much the item weighs that certain stat for whatever's going to give you better stats. Like, for example, minimum endurance charge, I'm just going to remove this one completely because it maximizes the amount of, like, things that you can search for. So here's what I would do. I would just do total life, and then I just put, like, 50, and this way it has to have this, like, stat. If I was to add a stat group, or let's put, like, and life. Actually, I'll just do this. I will say, like, it has to have 50 life, and then it goes over all of those. And then I would do the sum right here of whatever the stats are. This one gives us, okay, we can't really benefit off of, this one tells us what insightfulness is. Okay, so 10% reduced mana cost of skills. Okay, that's not going to be too useful for us. We also can put in how much we're willing to spend, which is, I guess, 2 chaos orbs. Most of the stuff will be like 1 at this point. So let's see what we got. If we have plus lightning damage, brinkmanship, melee skills, okay, that we can't use. So ideally what we'd actually want to shoot for as well is we would go to where it says enchanted. Where's that under? Enchant. It's in one of these filters. It's under miscellaneous. Enchanted. It's in one of these filters. Where is it? I think, is it in here? Is it one of these? Okay, let's just get rid of, like, the increased armor. I think we need to put it in here. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. There's probably not going to be that many for this. So this is increased crit strike chance, although we don't benefit off of crit. So there might not be any ones that we can benefit off of. And survivalist we actually already get on our skill tree. So it being a enchantment, which is going to be something that we use oils with. And I know some of the stuff is just like over the top, like, don't worry if it feels a little bit confusing. I'll try to explain it more when we can actually enchant on our own. But right now, we're just going to pick up something that already is enchanted by someone else, or if it drops with the enchantment. This one's like okay, because it gives us increased life. And then on top of that, we have extra life. Unfortunately, it does give us 8% increased attack speed on top of giving us elemental damage and lightning damage. This one could be okay for a little bit. There's probably much better amulets. But our amulet right now is pretty bad. And we can get massive amount of extra life with just that one. Because that also gives us 10% increased life. I'm going to go ahead and whisper this guy and see if we can go ahead and pick up this one. If we can pick up this one, it'll be a nice little upgrade. And then the next thing I want to upgrade for sure is our gloves. If we can get this, this would be awesome. So we'll wait for him to respawn and see if there's anything else while we're waiting. So let's see what else we got. Okay, so let's scroll past that one. So cold damage, shaken as fire doesn't really matter too much. Elemental damage with attack skills is pretty good. But that crit strike multiplier won't actually matter for us. Even though it searches for it. Okay, looks like that guy might be AFK. But that's how we can search for items as well. Let's maybe go to no enchantment, because we only put in 2 chaos orbs, which is basically very little. I'll also lower this life over here. And he's AFK, or maybe he's busy doing stuff. And sometimes at some point, some people, they're too busy doing something. It's not worth coming back for just like a very small thing. Okay, 10% attack speed. Brinkmanship is not usable. I think this is the other one that we were looking at. So this one gives us strength and intelligence. And we get increased damage, some small amount, and then increased lightning damage. Okay, this one for 1 chaos orb, sure. It's going to be an upgrade for us for sure. So let's see if we can grab this one from this guy. And if not, no worries. We'll still scroll and we'll look for some other items. Okay, cool. He responded. We're going to go click on his hideout. And that's another way you can trade in the game. Is by using external tools. And these won't get you banned, by the way. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you'll be A-okay. Because I know some people are worried about third-party tools, but this acts outside of the game. It imports your character versus like using some sort of data. But like macros, as far as I'm aware of, you can get banned for those, so try not to do any like macros in the game. So now we're going to go back to the bridge encampment, and now with our new amulet, we're going to have a lot more HP, right? So this new amulet that we just got gives us more damage. So let's see how much more damage we get. So we have 6.4, at least on this. This is the first number over here. And now we got a little bit more damage. And then on top of that, our HP goes from 1.5 to 1.6. So gained a little bit of stats over there. And we're done with this thing, so we can just go get rid of it. There's usually no point of keeping like your older items. We'd also look at upgrading our rings. So what would be an upgrade on our ring? Oh. So I can manually search this, or we can use this. This is just a great tool though. So if I was to go for a ring, I would say that we have 1 chaos orb, and then I just hit execute, and it'll just find me the best ring. And what's cool is it tells me how much DPS it gives us. So this one over here will give us 10% DPS. It's going to give us an endurance charge. Actually, that's pretty good. Endurance charge on kill. Oh, wow. That's quite nice. So for 1 chaos, let's go ahead and whisper. So with this, it's not going to whisper in game. It adds it to the copy and paste board. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go in here. We hit Control V. Right. Okay, these are different players, right? Let's see. It might not have imported correctly because he had the exact same name. So I was wondering, is it just the same guy? He just happens to have the same thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I copy and paste it in here, and then I'm going to hit direct whisper in game. There we go. Oh, was it the same player that we just traded with? Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure because some of the names in other languages, I can't read it, so it looks very similar. So we're gonna go to his hideout. And that will be the end of our little shopping here, because I don't have any more Chaos Orbs to spend. Perfect, perfect. And so now we are going to get a nice little upgrade as well on our ring. So wherever this ring went. Okay, so which one should we replace? This one, it's got 2 resistances. Let's see which one has like the better stats to replace. So now we're getting a little bit more damage. Does it give us HP? Or what does this one give us? This can give us 10 to all resistances. Oh, so if we swap to this one, you can see our resistances kind of get a little messed up. Now, I'm not sure. Let's see, what is Orbit Chance? Oh, I need my Awaken PoE trade tool up. This is another thing that lets me scan my items. Again, this is all kind of optional stuff, but since the act was a little bit short, now Awaken PoE trade is running. I don't know how much these are worth. Some items, if it's brand new, it won't have any like listings. But let's see, Orbit Chance. So 20, what is this like? 20 to 1? Okay, so we don't even have enough really to get anything here. So yeah, I don't have any Chaos Orbs. Otherwise, I'd get another ring, and the ring that I would be looking for will fix our resistances. So that'll be something that we can get maybe later on. We can take more damage. It's not that big of a deal. At least we have some sort of resistances. Ideally, we'd be capped. But if I put this one on, it's like almost capped. As you progress in the game, though, they will lower your resistances. And then once we finish the campaign, we're going to get even worse resistances. But let's go ahead and sell these items because I don't need them anymore. And get some small little currency. And next time, what we're going to focus in on, hopefully get like 1 more Chaos Orb. I'll replace this 1 ring. And ideally, we just get as many resistances as possible. So, pretty much we'd be looking at getting like 10, 15 to all of the resistances, except for Chaos. Don't worry about that one until the end game. But anyways, that's going to wrap up Part 6, Act 6. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on the way out. I'll see you guys on the next part.